So I've just received Hellbent in the mail, which I'm very excited about. It's the second novel in the series. First one is Ninth House, which was one of my favorite books of last year. So I'm very excited to read this one. It's now Friday, so I'm about to get changed to go to a museum where they mentioned like, hey, you're gonna experience the Northern Lights. So I'm excited about that one. So I'm gonna go there on the way I'm gonna read, and then throughout the weekend, and I'll keep you updated on my thoughts for this book. That's it. That's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and then I'll talk to you soon.
Call me when you're free and we can start our own party. So let's go live it up like it's 1999. My kind of party, no drinking, just conversations and thinking. I like to know what you're thinking, but I'm kinda shy. I don't look it. I saw the chance and I took it, and I'm not looking back. Living in a hazy world, I just can't control the way you make me dance in the room like nobody's watching. No, just our bodies, you and me. When the night is over, say you just can't control the way you feel with me.
I'll be fair, the museum thing was kind of a buzz because and I was kind of prepared for it, but I think that they like this whole thing about like you're gonna see the Northern Lights, experience the Northern Lights, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And I'm expecting like some things like Fabrique de Lumière, like where it's like all around you and like it's really nicely put on the walls and everything like that. And then I got the email like Friday morning, and then you saw a picture of just people sitting in like sort of movie, like looking at a movie screen, theater screen, and they're just like in chairs in front of it, and I was just like, so I don't feel like this is really working. And it was like in the video itself I was just like, yeah, so it was kind of a buzz. But right now I'm like at page 128 on Hellbent. And I'm enjoying it so far. Like I'm pretty like properly reading this. I will admit I didn't do a reread of Ninth House. So I'm sometimes a little bit lost on the names and like, oh, what are different houses again? Like all of the like smaller things that you tend to forget. I think that they're like now on the quest to free Darlington and find the gauntlet, and I am hoping, and I think that's gonna happen because it's relatively fast-paced, where, or at least now it is, that like they will find the gauntlet and everything, and get to Darlington. Like I'm trying not to spoil anything, and like get to Darlington like properly and everything, like maybe midway through the novel, and not all the way at the end. Like not like everything and all of the quests to like get to him. It's gonna take up the whole book because a lot happens in the first few hundred pages, in the first 100 pages. And I'm just kind of like, I love that. I'm very excited about it. But to do all of that for a whole novel seems a bit much. But right now, I've had this recipe that I wanted to make, which I have all the ingredients for. And we're just gonna make it. Look at this. These. So, oh my god, it's like a vegan brioche chocolate stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna make those. Okay, so I just like read the recipe in its entirety because like I have all the ingredients, like I know how to make the dough and the custard filling. And then I realized that obviously these are donuts. It says it right on the picture. And for some reason it didn't register to me that like you need to fry them, and I don't want to fry them. So it's not going to be exactly like the picture because I'm just going to like make the pastries in the oven.
If all days brown eyes, roots in my apartment, and we grew past flashback. Plans were always falling. I know you need out sometimes. Head on the glass by traffic lights. Thoughts never felt so blind, so we take off in a maze. And I drive in circles, growing sick of the weather. Heather gray fell asleep in my sweatshirt. I'll leave the world and make a new one together.
Okay. Alright. I just woke up and I just wanted to talk to you guys about this book. A little thing. Because I'm almost done. I've like 80 pages left. So we're like reaching the ultimatum, the ending of this book, because I feel that there may be a next one. I don't know. Anyways, not relevant. I'm doing this right here while I'm kind of cleaning up because I hadn't done that at all. It's kind of a mess. And then I came home last night from drinks with a friend, and I was just like, yeah, I need to like clean up everything. Let's empty my bag on the table and leave it and just go to bed, because then I got tired. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm doing. Meantime, I will say about this book, I said previously to everyone, was like, hey, I hope that they get like Darlington out quickly and do a little bit more about the aftermath, because it would be annoying if we have to like deal with this the whole way through. Complications ensued, naturally. I mean, it should, with such an elaborate plan. And I was kind of slightly disappointed by some of it, because they got him and that stuff happened. A lot of things happened during that few pages. Like, I think from like halfway through like 2/3 in, like I think it's like 80 to 100 pages, a lot happened. And I was 2/3 in, then I looked at the alarm clock and was like, maybe I should go to bed. Because the point of that night was like, go to bed on time, because you have a busy weekend ahead and you're really tired, and it's like your time of the month, like we need to like deal with this. It was like a little bit later than expected, but at that point I was like, okay, they've done the main thing that they were supposed to do, kind of like what seems like what they've been working towards since the ending of Ninth House and start of this one. I feel like it seemed to follow like a very traditional set of like storytelling, where it's like you think it works and then it doesn't really. And I really enjoy like the more psychological aspect of like the drama that ensues. I just really wanted to be surprised. Cue, like 2/3 in, we got a little bit of a surprise, which I liked. And then you start putting puzzle pieces together and you're like, oh. And then Alex figures something out, and you're like figuring it out with her, very much so. And then she comes across 2 victims. You're like, oh, no. And that one took me a little bit by surprise, because you're like, oh, no. So I kept reading, and I was like, now I have to get out of bed and eat and clean up. Well, I was supposed to make breakfast, but then I saw this and I was like, I need to clean first, and then in the meantime I can film. And then I also just did laundry, and we're an hour further. For now, we've 70-80 pages left. I am very excited to see where it's gonna go. I hope that we get like one more like ultimate surprise. Alex Stern, I still love her. I still think she's a great character. I love the ensuing friendship between her and Doss. Like, that seems to grow a lot better. She's gets herself into a lot of messes. I kind of feel for her, like, oh, and I hope that at least one of those messes is getting a little bit resolved in this book, because there's a lot going on. I'm like, girl, I don't even know how you're passing your classes. You can't tell me that Alex isn't super smart. Last 80 pages. I'm gonna talk to you guys one more time to see how it finishes.
Afternoon on a train. I only took it because it started to rain. Afternoon in the fall. This weather always makes me think about it all.
I finished it. I didn't love this as much as I was hoping I would. And I've been thinking about why didn't I love it? And I think there are a few key things. One, I think this book, in the first book, she talks a lot about class differences and more commentary on more societal issues, as well as having this really thrilling, interesting mystery, dark academia story. And I think this was just mainly focused on a heist and demon, but to me it was kind of that can't be the only thing why I wasn't as in love with it as I thought I was, and that's for the very simple reason the structure of the story followed a very basic structure that I've kind of seen a lot. It's this has happened, it's heists, they're trying something, it doesn't work out, surprise, in this way it can, it works. Another heist thing happens very briefly, and then setting up for the next novel. And I think that is a syndrome that happens with a lot of second books in series, where you feel we're dealing with stuff that happened in the first one. We're excited about the first one, enjoyed it, so they're dealing with that, but then at the same time we're also setting up for the next book, and that it loses some of its essence. It's just, and that what it kind of bummed me out, because I feel if we had a little bit more of the characters taking up stock of what has happened to them, and I think that didn't happen until the last two chapters, 20-30 pages. But nonetheless, I mean, let's be realistic, this is Leigh, so did I still enjoy it? Very much. Because no matter what we can say about it, her characters are immaculate. I love her character writing, because even through it all, if there's one thing that you cannot mistake on characters with her, it's they all their distinctively own voice, they're very well written, they're very well rounded out, they feel very much their own. You don't feel they made a strange step outside of their personality or character. I feel this makes sense in how they are behaving in this world that she's also building, and that's what I did love. Also, between Alex and Darlington, look, she's setting stuff up for the next book between them. It's gonna be agony about they'll never, here's the thing, if something ever happens between them, it's gonna be on the last page of the last book. It's gonna be Inej and Kaz kind of vibes, in a sense of they will, everyone sort of knows, but God forbid they tell each other. They will never tell each other until the last breathing second that they have. So, if you think demons might hurt, that will probably hurt more. So yeah, Hellbent. If you like the House Knight, Dark Academia, stuff like that, it is still a recommendation. I would say do Ninth House and then this one, because you're then in the world involved, and then I think it is a better read. Second, if you love characters, want to understand characters and character development, her books generally are a good hit. This one too. Very much enjoyed it. And to be fair, I am looking forward to the third one. I will, if the third one comes out, I definitely read it. And out of all the characters, I'm a big fan of Alex Stern. I think she's awesome. I think she's really, I really like her as the character. I like morally great characters. And I think because her characters are so distinct and well-rounded, and you feel they're very much alive on that page, I think there's like a character for everyone to find themselves in or to love the most. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know that I've talked about one singular book the whole time, but I hope it was somewhat informative and helpful in wanting to read this book, or if you've read it, leave down below what your thoughts were, because I am really interested about what other people's thoughts were, or if you're like, holy, think like, what are you talking about? This is like super surprising. Let me know. And then again, as I always say, if you like this video, you can also like or subscribe to the channel so you'll be updated when a new video comes online. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and then I see you guys again next time.